I was deathly and literally deathly afraid of my mother. I mean, I have enormous compassion for what she must have gone through to land her where she was, but she was not a nice person.
Abuse is very common in our family, but our family looked at it as discipline, but we didn't talk about it outside of the family.
I didn't know my little brother existed because he was locked in a room and literally tied to his crib. My little brother survived, so I'm assuming he was at least fed.
My dad always worked. My mom has depression and bipolar, and so she'd sleep all day, all month, all year.
Trying to figure out what was it that led to my birth mother leaving me. What was, now rationally as an adult, I knew. She was 13. She had been abused since the age of 5.
They said that it wasn't safe for us to live in an environment where my father would come and look for us, so they just take us to Orangewood Children's Home.
I got put in the hospital, and she refused to come pick me up once they cleared me to be released. And so cops came and picked me up. I had no clue what I was going into.
You know, I moved around from place to place and never really kept in contact with anybody. Like, I just kept moving around, and every time I moved, it was a whole set of different people. It wasn't really, like, I felt alone.
I never was allowed to go outside, so first grade was terrifying for me. I had no social skills.
I knew that school and education had to go together, and I was really excited to be in school, even though I was really bad at it for a lot of years.
It's hard to do homework or focus on social studies or learn English or math when I'm worried about what's going to happen when I get home and where my foster parents are going and what does that mean for me.
I was focused on survival even in those circumstances. Many of those circumstances were extreme, of being beaten, of being molested, to the other extreme of just being ignored.
I wanted no one to know. I wanted to be normal so much.
I didn't want anyone to know what my real parents are like so that they can then judge me that way. I mean, high school can be cruel.
It makes people feel like they don't know what to do with that information, and so you hold that, and what that does is it creates this sort of feeling like something is wrong with you, when in fact there's nothing. I'm extremely normal.
Honestly, it probably would have been more therapeutic for me to just actually find someone in common or be able to talk to someone about it.
I might not have been as open unless I had seen enough of the behavior of the adult to know the adult was not going to harm me. It would have been a big relief. It's interesting, I think about my experience as a child, I think about my brothers too. And there's a weight to feeling lonely. Let me get some tissue.
One in every 5 foster kids in the country is in California, and the statistics here are devastating when you hear them. When they turn 18, a third become homeless, a quarter become incarcerated, half graduate high school, less than 1% graduate college. They deserve better, and we aren't really giving it to them.
I've had times where I was in my placements and the basic needs weren't met. There was no food and there was no clothing, and being deprived of those basic needs, yeah, it's bad. But being deprived of love, of somebody who cares about you, of, that mother or that father or just that person in your life, says, I care about you or I want to see you succeed. Those was like the worst moments of my life, not having that.
I have no cosigner, I have no parents, and then I have no credit. So how is somebody just gonna take my word? So I couldn't get anywhere, so I became homeless.
Towards the end of my time in the system, right before I started to emancipate, I started being kind of rude and distant from everybody. So that was my way of saying, well, it's time to go, so I need to start winding down. I need to start ending these relationships. So basically what I did is I just shut off from everybody, and then I didn't feel anything. And I really convinced myself for a long time that I was okay.
It's just like you carrying this big rock and you climbing up a mountain. And to reach that mountain just takes extra hard. Where a person that have a mother and father, they can get on a helicopter and go up that mountain so fast, so quick, that it's not even a problem for them.
We're talking about dreams here. We're talking about people's livelihood. We're talking about promoting not just survival for our foster youth, we're talking about promoting happiness. I mean, education, that's one of the things we all know, it's the key to success.
I had a social worker, and she sat me down. She was talking to me. She was like, Zayron, what's the problem? What's going on here? I mean, you have so much potential. I just kept listening to her. She was like, Zayron, you have the ability to go to college. I actually believe that you can do this. And words of inspiration that she was giving me was something I had never heard before.
It was around 16 that I got a teacher who really invested a lot of time in me and really started pushing college to me. He started to help me see it would be actually impossible.
They make us feel like, especially the foster youth, like we have a purpose here.
Like they got me mentally, I believe, prepared from like study habits to self-examination and learning who I am so I can better educate myself.
These programs kind of shed light and show them like there is a way you can do it. Anything is possible.
How to study properly, how to retain better knowledge.
They make us want to come back.
I go there, you know, if I don't have a class or if I don't want to go home yet, I could chill, you know, talk about, you know, my girl problems and stuff like that.
I thought it was, you know, just they were just going to be sort of like a guidance counselor, you know, like you should do this, you should do that. But I found it to be a lot more resourceful than that, just that.
The other places, they just like, oh, take a number, go wait in line.
It's like I have to go here to get to there, you know? Here at the GS office, though, it's kind of like I have all my resources in one.
It really don't matter if you're a foster youth or not. When you first come to college, it's hard, you know?
In the beginning, I didn't know where to go. I was like, all right, what do I do? They just like step by step told me, okay, this is what you do.
Talk with some kids my age that have been through what I have.
I describe it as a friendly environment.
It's like a family to come to at school.
I'd say it was a turning point because I was ready to leave school. Like I was ready to just say, you know what, maybe I just need to get a job and just not continue.
Programs like this will help them to be more motivated and to follow a career, to focus more in their dreams. Every school should have that, every college.